Dude, Mystigate Courtyard, pretty awkward. I think I'm mulliganing. I mean, Sand's not like amazing. I mean, maybe it's good against humans, but not too many other decks really. Ooh, Hype Train, Young Peasy, thank you for your subscription as well. Also nice of you. Peasy, peasy, peasy. I want this deck to be good so I can buy a second foil Thraben Inspector and then the rest of the deck. I opened a foil one of these from Time Spiral. Have I ever forgotten I'm streaming and ripped a fart? No. Not that I like hold it in. I'm not a very gassy person. Island Mountain. Show on camera. I did earlier. How much would I pay for a foil Thraben Inspector? I don't know. I'd want to buy like the rest of the deck first. Which, I guess like the Aether Vials are kind of expensive, but the rest of the deck's pretty cheap. But that would be like the last thing I bought if I was going to buy this deck. And I'd probably wait too. Alright, well. Hungry Chicken, 16 months. Thank you for that. Keeping the hype train going. Shoveling coal into the furnace. You might just win in 2 turns. My opponent taps out. I don't know what my opponent's playing. Is this Kiki? Also weird to play Ephemerate before looting with Jace. Seems unlikely they wouldn't have a counter or kill spell. Yeah. It is nice that we do dodge Force of Negation. But I don't know what they're doing over there. And if my opponent might think it's safe to tap out for Jace. Like Jace the Mind Sculptor, whatever their 4-drop is. Does Bolt on an Oracle disrupt a combo? Yes, with a card in the yard. Yes, it does. Is it charm to draw 2 and discard 2? I think they're Kiki combo. I mean, it could be Through the Breach. Could be something weirder. Bolt on Oracle removes the Devotion. Yeah, but we need Devotion if we have a card in the yard, which we do. Although we could play around Bolt by just casting Inverter and then waiting a turn to Vial and Oracle. Storm Herald combo? Maybe. Yeah, you know what? They seem to be prioritizing looters a little bit more than like Kiki Jiki decks would be. No, I don't think you can play Cavern. I think the mana is a bit too stringent. It could be Phoenix. Could be Phoenix, yeah. Blue Moon. I don't know, like Jason is a charmer so weird in Blue Moon. You know, not just jam the Inverter here into 4 open mana. Ephemerate is also weird if you're playing Blood Moon, I think. Yeah, Remand does make some sense in Phoenix. Mana Leak makes less sense. I mean, they might just Through the Breach us. We might also be able to win through the Breach. Opponent says cool deck. What's the card from my avatar? I don't know. It's just a frog, I think. I might take the Vial up to 4. Yeah, maybe we could look for Tidehollow Sculler. Yeah, I'll put a second Oracle in my hand and then try to take up the, or not in my hand, under the Watcher. Then maybe just try to take this up to 4 and then Inverter double Oracle. NJ, thank you for your Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. I'll attack if they Ephemerate to block. They don't actually die here, but we get the second Oracle in the hand, which we're happy about. Snap Extra Mage, sure. Yeah, so it's gonna be pretty hard for them to beat this. I guess we'll have 3 cards in the yard though, which makes things a bit weird. It's gonna have 6 though. They targeted Izzet Charm. We'll see if they kill the Inspector now or if they loot faithlessly. We're 3-1 in the modern PTQ Jotun. We're playing this brew in between rounds, just kind of seeing how good it is. It's been pretty good. We 4-1'd our first league, and then we've made some changes. I have no idea what's happening in my opponent's deck. They're still 2 turns away from ulting this. Notably, we have 3 cards in the yard, so we're not killing immediately. So I'm probably activating Vial on my opponent's instep. Yeah, Spider, this deck definitely seems way up your alley. It's been one I've been working on for like a week now, off stream. It's first time streaming with it, or second league with it on stream. Yeah, I feel like Through the Breach does make sense. I don't know, just so much looting without like seeing any cards that are good to discard yet. What if they have Fiery Temper in their deck? We lost to Mill in the PTQ, which stinks because we actually have the Nexus of Fate in our sideboard. They discard Remand and play Cascade Bluffs. Weird. Isn't this the Ascension deck? Is it? You tell me, dude. I have no idea. I guess I'm blocking. Nah, I'll just take 4. Maybe we'll die somehow. Combo. Is there a card that combos Ephemerate? I don't think so. Save it, Oracle, for when they Jace mill me out. Maybe. I mean, they have to have 2 interactive spells here. Seems like... I mean, like, we even can just, like, Mana Leak and Remand don't do anything, so they have to have, like, Logic Knot plus Pact of Negation. Seems like a lot. Oh, no, that doesn't even work because we have the second Vial. I mean, I was just kind of making stuff up, right? We also have an Ephemerate of the 3 cards, so we may be able to, like, combo 3 times. Crackdown Constructs. Interesting. 4 mana. That's cool. Oh, we even drew the Ephemerate. I think this deck is good. I don't think Scion's Ephemerate interacts any weird way, you know. Nice. Let's bring in the Teferis. Do we want Revoker? They have Jace, they have Scions. Kind of want to trim a wall, trim Niambi. I think Sculler probably stinks too in these kind of matchups. So maybe play like 2 Revoker, 1 Sculler. Maybe we could trim a Soulherder, play 2 Scullers. I mean, it's not that bad in these matchups. Just like so fragile to the deck with the million bolts, which isn't charms and stuff. We're 3-1 in the PTQ double wave. It's a 10-round event, so hopefully I have my sanity at the end of it. And the worst case scenario is we lose our win and end the top 8 of this 10-round PTQ. Revoker doesn't name man lands. You can't name a land with Revoker. Sure, the name to Inverter. I feel like Inverter Herder is better. But maybe Inverter. I feel like people won't get it if we do that. That's good. PTQ for what? I don't know. Like whatever the. I think it's the Strixhaven PTQ. I don't think it's the one that's happening in a couple weeks or next weekend, whenever it is. Yeah, we lost to Mill, which stinks because we actually have the Nexus of Fate, but whatever. I want to play Wall first. Maybe it's better to play Watcher, actually, because we can attack with it. Herder of Truths, maybe. I like that. I think that's a good suggestion. Take the Inverter. Yeah, like, I usually am pretty against Watcher for tomorrow in these kind of decks, but I think specifically in this one, it makes a lot of sense to me since it digs for the combo. PT stuff is next win. Decklist will do tonight. Good luck, Spider. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Full wagon, 4 months. Thank you for your resubscription. Appreciate you. The Steve has always played Watcher and Soulherder. Yeah. I know that I think it has been better in past metagames, but it's specifically in this one against all the Swiftspear decks I've really disliked it. But I know that the Steve has been higher on the card than I have. See, I'm just gonna jam Teferi and hopefully I can stick it. Full Wagon is also redeemed a deck tech whenever you're ready for that. Inverter, yeah, not bad. I feel like I like Inverter Herder. Inverter Herder. Please tell me it's too greedy so I can play something better. Well, hopefully I disagree. Hopefully it's sweet. Temur Urza Sword. Man, honestly, like splat. I think it is too greedy to play Sword in the Temur deck. Like just like splashing the color seems so tough to me, especially with just 2 Whir. Okay, you've got Pinta Prism though, and Prophetic Prism. That actually, and you have the Goose. It's interesting. I feel like you probably just want to be Sultai if you're trying to do this plan. But I'm kind of interested in it. Kind of interested. I was playing 20 lands for Wrenn and 6, I think, or maybe I was playing 21 lands. But I think you want to play 4 Wrenn and 6 if you're Temur, especially with the trackers. Oh, also 0 trackers in the 75 seems crazy. Tracker was like so nuts for me. Tracker's just so good with Urza. I feel like there's like almost no way you can play 0 trackers. I would also probably play like just 4 Whir and 0 Engineer if you do want to play the tutor plan. We could have attacked with that Watcher first and hope they blocked. Isn't that what I did? I mean, there's no way they blocked the 2-1, but I thought I did attack with the Watcher, right? You mean before I bounced it? If so, I feel like there's very little value into doing that. Yeah, Aether Grid is also like a pretty interesting sideboard card. I do feel like the Thopter Sword combo is important for that deck, though, since it's going to allow you to beat Infinite Life out of Heliod. I kind of just want to cast Inverter. We don't really know what our opponent's doing. They're playing some kind of brew. Yeah, I think I'm just going to jam the Inverter. We have 2 Oracles, and then we're also drawing Ephemerate into Teferi, so feeling pretty good about this. And with the Devotion from Watcher, like Oracle is technically threatening lethal next turn, but we just get to smack the Scions. Yeah, it's a Teferi also, if we draw that, or get it off the Watcher, is going to clear the way for us. They thought Skyward themselves? Weird. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Now with drawing this, there's nothing that beats us. We're 5-1 with this deck so far today. So you don't have to play cards like that. Am I pretty happy with all the modern reprints and Time Spiral? Yeah, I bought some Time Spiral packs yesterday. I actually opened a foil Thraben Inspector, which would be good if I ever build this deck in paper. Yeah, it's been a really good stream today. Just like having a banger PTQ run and then also like a really sweet spicy brew in the leagues it's been good. And I've got a haircut? Amazing. I'm probably going to try to draw step Sculler. I would really like to draw a land and maybe also Ephemerate up. Not that lucky. But you know what? I'm going to wait on this wall. And I think my opponent's going to... I guess they won't kill the Sculler in response to the trigger, actually. What can I say about Jund in current days? It's playable, kind of, and fun. Which is a good combo. Could Ephemerate in response to the trigger to get extra cards, but it's pretty bad against a removal spell to do that. Yeah, Ephemerate and Vial do both power up Sculler, when Sculler is a usually otherwise pretty medium card. And they let the trigger resolve. They have Bolt, Lingering Souls, Spyro, 4 lands. I'll take the Bolt. Their deck looks fun. Probably have a good matchup. Discard Soulsmire. So it's these 3 cards and then 2 new ones. So our Vials are going to be pretty good here. We get to go Vial and Wall, Vial of Soulherder, and have double Ephemerate up. Might just Ephemerate once on my main phase. Although if I do that, I should put the Soulherder in play first so I get the trigger for drawing a card. Pretty good turn. So he has Summit Canyon, Sacred Foundry, Spyro, Souls and Graveyard, 3 new cards. They push my Sculler. I think we just let this go. And then if they bolt my Soulherder, we get to Ephemerate the wall to get the Soulherder up to 4/4. Which is a blowout if they don't have another removal spell, but they are Mardu. It looks like a blowout. Blowout achieved. I miss casting this card. It's pretty good in this deck. Did Platinum Imperium pull victory home in the blue-red match? It did, yeah. It did. So I think I'm leaving the Vials on 2 and 3 this turn. Obviously we have the upside of drawing Inverter Oracle, but I think we can wait. I guess we even still combo if we do here, right? We just cast the Inverter. Yeah, so I was gonna leave them on 2, 3. I think I want to leave the Croxus Spyro Skull. Just gonna take the Spyro? Yeah, I feel like the Batter Skull doesn't matter. But in case we draw a 2-mana creature to violin, because it's like if we're gonna draw off the Wall of Omens, and we're like more likely to draw a creature than the Ephemerate. Nice, nice. We're yet to find an Oracle. but we should win as soon as we do because we can leave the Vial on 2 and then flicker the Inverter with one of our Soulherders to exile our graveyard completely. Flashback Souls. They're going to activate the Skull, sure. Or should activate the Stoneforge to put Skull into play. Which doesn't matter very much. I might tick up this Vial to 4 now. Yeah, it's pretty good if we draw an Oracle. And we have like, I guess we only get to actually draw 1 card off the wall. Right, because we can't, these trigger at the same time, we only get to draw once. But I think I'll leave the outs to draw Ephemerate. We just have so many lands here. So target this, they'll put a Batter Skull into play. We won't really care that much. These trigger the Soulherders. What got banned that weakened the OG blue-black Inverter? Well, in Pioneer it was Inverter, and and then in Modern they never had access to Dig Through Time, which was the problem. Like Dig Through Time was really a part of the combo. Triggers, triggers, triggers. It's like Dig Through Time specifically just like was part of the combo in Pioneer. It was like part of the combo that found your other 2 combo pieces. It was so nuts. I guess it should be always wrong trigger actually. Alright, so for these, let's go ahead, always yield to the +1 counter ability at least. Oh, we win. Awesome. We have enough devotion, exactly enough. Good draw. This deck is awesome. This deck is so cool. I'm glad that it's working. I had high hopes, but I wasn't sure. Probably want to play Champions. I think Sculler's pretty bad in this matchup. I think Champions D/good question mark. I don't know that we need fatal pushes. I might cut like a Soulherder for a push, but Soulherder's kind of fragile. I think I just want to play 2. Yeah, like these Vial turns with the Inverter combo was definitely like I wanted to play a Vial Inverter deck. I just wasn't sure the best shell. I put a few lists together. This is what I came up with, and I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, like it seems like this deck is gonna be really hard to play around too from the opponent's side of things, which is nice. Yeah, stupid expensive Auriok Champion. One of Eldrazi Displacer. I think Displacer is worse than Flicker Wisp and like really tough on your mana sometimes. Worse than Soulherder. Are there matchups where I cut the combo? I'm still like pretty early into the testing part of this deck, I guess. So there might be, but I don't know what they are yet. 4-1, am I still able to win this thing? Yeah, we're in it in the PTQ. We're 4-1. It's actually entirely possible that at X and 2 we'll make top 8. It's kind of a nightmare to like pick up our second loss like around this point though, because we're like unlikely at this point if we lose like nowish, and it's also roughly impossible to calculate at this point as well. But we're having a good run, having a good stream. Especially because our fun deck is going really well. The UG on the UG or on the Thug? Cool username. Thank you for your subscription. Appreciate ya. It's very likely you have to win everything. Yeah. But it's possible we X2 and make it. Someone said like 3 to 4 people will make it X2 because this is a 10 rounder. Ooh. I think I'm Skyclaving the Mystic. I'm not sure. Link to this deck list. If you type !deck, the Stream Decker will open, and that'll be a link to not only this deck but every deck I play. I'm not gonna attack because if they kill my Soulherder, my Skyclave, they get to kill the Inspector from the token. Spike on the PT is what we need. Yeah, I'm not currently queued for this next one. I did have a decent showing at the last one. Maybe it'll be queued. This one queues us for not the one next week, but the one after that. So it would be cool to, it'd be cool to be back on it. I'm gonna name Spirit. Unchecked Chandler is pretty good. Best draw here is, although it's just Inverter. With double Oracle and the ability to cast both next turn thanks to Sunken Ruins. More Skyclaves. Let's target the Plague Engineer. What's the easiest way to queue for the PT? I mean, there is no easy way to do it, but the easiest, I think, is the Arena Qualifiers. Just like, I think that 7-2ing day 1 and day 2 is easier than like 9-1, a 10-round PTQ, and then win 2 more matches in top 8. It's got to be way easier, I think. But again, there is no easy way to do it. And before all the hilarious people say, just be a streamer. Haha, just be a streamer and they'll invite you. I'm trying it. It's not working. I still gotta get on the fairway, apparently. Yep. Yeah, maybe stream a different game. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've met Amaz a couple times. He was on a PT I went to. He was like sitting next to me on the plane, and he was a pretty cool guy. We chatted for a bit, and like good at the game too. I'm gonna say no to the Skyclave. We, I think, are wanting a different effect at this point in the game. Right, that's true. I am an MTGO user. I've made that very clear. I'm not a streamer. I forgot. Maz's a trophy leader on TSP. That's cool. I honestly, I'm not very familiar with Amaz's streams. I knew of Amaz. I knew we still win if we draw Inverter, so we're not conceding. I knew of Amaz when we met, but I didn't watch the stream or anything. But Amaz is good. Did Amaz get some form of punishment? Oh, you know what? That does like vaguely ring a bell. Cancel him because I sat next to him on a plane one time. All right, go to game 3. I don't even know what, like, I do like just vaguely remember some kind of controversy, but I can't remember anything, honestly. Open booster packs. I don't have booster packs. I opened them all off stream. I opened a bunch of Time Spiraled yesterday. I thought about opening them on stream, but I wanted to open them, and I didn't wait. Should do a box opening. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like I definitely have the mindset that just not everything is content, you know? If I want to get some packs to open them for fun because they were like pretty cheaply priced because I was at Walmart, that's just fine, you know? I think I just definitely have the attitude just not everything is going to be content. I especially have really come to the conclusion that I need to take one day a week from having the stream on, you know? And I've been doing that for a while, 1 or 2 days, just being behind a camera. I really enjoy streaming. It's my favorite thing. It's awesome, but it is draining, at least for me. I just need to take a day off a week. Yeah. Anytime Sprawl goodies. I got some, yeah. I got a foil Thraben Inspector, which is really, really pretty. And it's cool because I'm like, whoa, I have a Thraben Inspector deck that I'm working on, which is this one. Looks so good. I got some other stuff. I got like a Dismember. I got a Sliver Legion, which is apparently like $1 million for no reason. Sick. Good draw. This might be a turn 4 kill if I draw 1 land. No, the foil is not a Pringle. Super flat. Oh, no. I live in Texas though, where there's humidity that's pretty high, so most of my foils aren't Pringly, but I did get some foils recently that were. It'll be a Pringle in a while. None of the foils I've gotten recently have Pringled at all, and I think it's because of, you know, where I live, but I'm not sure. We just play this right, and then we cast the Inverter, and then they're just going to have a really hard time winning because there's an Oracle in the graveyard. Yeah, if they leave the state, they Pringle, from what I understand. I mean, I don't know. Really not my area of expertise. But I will say that the non-foil old border cards look and feel really good. It feels like the card stock they use is of higher quality. I'm obviously not like sure about that, but it's how it feels. Oh, I was probably supposed to leave the Vial on 2, actually. I don't know. I'll just Skyclave the Stoneforge, but like if we draw the Oracle next turn, then I'm gonna want to just like wait to cast it and then leave the Vial on 2 to play around a discard spell. I'm not sure how much the Stoneforge Mystic matters. How many rounds is the qualifier? 10 rounds. 10 rounds. Which is a lot. And we are 4-1. We're 4-1. I'm hoping to win a bunch. Yeah. I'll hold the courtyard to play around command. I also feel like this Dismember looks amazing. I think Dismember may be like just my favorite old border card that I saw. Just so sick. I keep meaning to like set a scene that's just the webcam. Let me actually just do that right now. Or I guess I should do that later. Hold on. All right, I'll mess with it later. Awesome, cool. That was what we wanted to have happen. And what's nice about this draw is that next turn we can cast Watcher and then cast Oracle, and I guess never mind. Never mind. The devotion doesn't matter at all because we have no cards in our deck. Why is that what we wanted? So if we drew Oracle here, it's hard to cast it because they can just kill the Oracle, and then we die because we have 1 card in our library. So we wanted to draw the Oracle next turn, and there's like really almost nothing our opponent can have that plays around us drawing Oracle next turn, right? Like I'm at 20 life. My opponent can't kill me. I guess I shouldn't have attacked, but doesn't matter a ton. Yeah. So yeah, and then if we drew the Oracle here, we couldn't play around both a discard spell and a removal spell. But because we won our coin flip, we're gonna win this game. I think we're about to get a concession while my opponent realizes they have no outs. Did we break it? Question mark. We are gonna be 6-1 with this Inverter deck today. Lose to Mardu Charm and Draw Step. I don't think Mardu Charm makes you discard 2. Does it? Mardu Charm is 2 tokens. I remember 2 first strike tokens. How does Oracle lose to removal spell? Doesn't trigger resolve with just one card in library? But if they kill the Oracle, we have 0 devotion when the trigger resolves, and 0 is less than 1, so you don't win the game. But if you have 0 cards in your library, removal spell does not beat Oracle. Neither of those cards are very good. I'll keep the 1 land Vial hand. One thing, I think you also have too many creatures for a deck like this. I mean, Sprite Dragon's like the only good creature here, but I'm really low on Ascendant Spirit. I'm also super low on Fiery Islet in these kind of decks. I keep seeing these kind of decks play Fiery Islet. I just don't think you can afford to. Interesting 4-color Omnath Blade. I mean, if you want to play a deck like this, I would recommend the Piracy Charm Dreadhorde Arcanist one. I think Dreadhorde Arcanist is like a pretty powerful spell, and like, you know, you have to jump through some hoops to make it work, but those hoops are worth jumping through in my opinion. Which one did they get? They got Batterskull, it's fine. I like the one Sinkhole. I kind of like the one Cryptic. I'm honestly not even a big fan of the Revelers. I would play the Madcap Experiment package instead of like the Dragon's Claws and like the other removal spells. Just, Madcap's so good right now. Nice. I think I'm gonna cast a Soulherder. If they counter this, and they don't get to put the skull into play, which is kind of fine. Although that's less fine. Although if they don't have Teferi, we can Skyclave this. Yeah, this is a 10-round, 413-person PTQ. Suggest the spirits for more interaction or something? Yeah. I guess we already covered it. Just didn't see that message. They do have Teferi. Stinks. I'm assuming Vial is getting bounced. But if they bounce Vial, we can attack Teferi with the Watcher, which is something. We can go Skyclave. If we draw a land, we can go Skyclave Stoneforge, and then keep in mind that this card is not going into our hand immediately. I think I'm still taking Sunken Ruins. What happened in the PTQ opponent? Yeah, opponent just didn't hit their 3rd land, and we won. We didn't draw the land. I don't want my opponent to trade, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get this Teferi off the field. Do you think it's possible to build a good cards only version stack just like Bant Ephemerate? I kind of feel like that's what... Not with this Inverter deck, no. No. No, I think you probably need to build the Inverter deck like this. Let me F6 so I can play my Vial. Yeah, the problem with that strategy is like Inverter is a synergy card, not a, you know, just regular good. So it has Batterskull, whichever sword they get, and then 2 unknowns. First unknown is Sword of Feast and Famine here. Notably, we did cut the 3rd basic. Niambi's been okay. I think you could maybe like play Flicker Wisp instead, but she's been fine so far. I'm not convinced that she's like the best card you could possibly play in this spot though. Omen. Omen is weird in their deck. But I mean, I'm definitely an Omen fan. 2 cards on the bottom. Playing Soulherder first so we get the counter on it. Which is pretty relevant if they have Sword of Fire Ice. But they revealed Feast and Famine, so that's not necessarily something we're convinced that they have. I'm just gonna wait to sack the clearing, but I'll probably end up sacking the clearing. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Omen's for the Teferi bounce synergy. It's just like they're 4 colors though, so like they have access to like every grindy card in the format. So it's kind of weird for them to play Omen. I'm also just like not a big fan of cantrips in my Stoneforge decks. Yeah. Charming Prince might also be better. I agree. If we draw with Thassa's Oracle, we win. They don't have a companion, do they? No. How do I feel about Bands of Ephemerate? I think it's solid. I think there's actually a recent video of it up on the YouTube channel if you want to check that out. But I played it last week, and I got some updates that I like. Doom, thanks for the raid, buddy. Were you playing the PTQ today? Congrats on your yesterday's top 8 as well. I'm just going to discard Vial. Hard to imagine I draw something off clearing. I'd rather discard. So there's Battle Skull mystery card. If I draw Oracle, I guess that was my devotion to go for it, huh? I can cast Niambi to get a 3rd devotion. I'm just gonna sack this clearing for Ephemerate. Not good against the Teferi. A little late on that Thraben Inspector too. Just gonna cycle this. Hey Jenkins, thank you for your tier 1 subscription. Appreciate that. Oh man, the Oracle may be 1 card too late. And maybe not. And I think I'm gonna cast the Inverter. And it can block the Queller because it's not actually black, it's colorless. Why not Niambi my Soulherder? There's a Teferi Time Raveler in play. And I had the Vial on 1, not 2. I guess I shocked to play the Inspector, but I actually think it's going to be better to discard the Inspector here to this if they do have an answer for my Inverter, or if they like bounce my Inverter with Teferi. This way... Oh yeah, shocking may end up costing me. Although they actually only have 8 and 9 damage in play. Or sorry, 8, 9. Yeah, I shouldn't have shocked. Now I just lose to any removal spell. For bounce spell. That was a big punt. But what I was trying to say was I can cast Oracle, and if they have a removal spell for the Oracle somehow, we can... I guess I can flash in Niambi to gain 4. They do bounce here, or gain some life off of this. So we're not dead. Yeah. Quit Battle Skull and bounce Inverter. Yeah, if they do that, we can Vial in Niambi and win. Or not die, rather. Which is different. Or maybe I'll bounce Wall of Omens. Because if I bounce Wall of Omens, then they have to also have a removal spell for Niambi and Oracle, because I'll have 1 devotion. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna get back the... Oh, I guess I could also just get back the Inverter, gain 4, and fizzle them from drawing a card. And I can cast Inverter. So that makes more sense. Niambi looking incredible here. Yeah, we have actually. I forgot that we do have Rebound coming up. I forgot about the Rebound because I thought it was just dead because of Teferi. Record with Inverter deck. 6-1 on the day. First day streaming with this version. First day playing this version at all. Pretty good record. Yeah, I guess we don't even need to do the Oracle thing. Or do the Inverter thing here. Just Violent Oracle. This deck has been really good. Maybe broke it. I wish if this deck ends up being broken, boy do I wish I had figured that out before the PTQ. Obviously, a little too early to speculate. Sculler's kind of bad depending on how many bolts they have, but I think I'm going to leave them in. Can trim a wall. Probably trim Soulherder 3. Trim the 4th inverter maybe? Still haven't gone against Prowess or Heliod. No, actually I feel like it's like we beat Infinite Life, and then Skyclave is good against Heliod too, and we have 4 Auriok Champions and 3 pushes, so I feel like those matchups aren't that bad, probably, but obviously I need to test. You can't see the Jeskai control list on Stream Decker. Oh, it should be the default one. I don't know when that got changed. But if you click the see my Stream Decker for all my links, it should pop up there, and you can also see all the other decks I've been playing. I must have accidentally changed it when I uploaded this new. Yeah, Stream Decker's being a bit laggy. Keep this. This deck seems a little soft to Tron and Amulet. Maybe, but it also just like has a combo that can kill on turn 4. But yeah, you're probably right. But also not every deck is going to be good against everything. Still a pretty new brew. No fetches because fetches are bad with Inverter. Four Force make a decent against Tron. Yeah, we could maybe sideboard Force of Negations. Good suggestion. Not as good against aim. Yeah, Karn also shutting off your Vials is kind of scary though. It's a good draw. I've really been liking the filter lands. I feel like our mana base is pretty smooth despite not having fetches. I think I want the Skyclave. Kind of close. Spreading Seas? Maybe. It's definitely an option. There's also a 3-mana 1/1 that lets you exchange control of a land. And, you know, I've never really been convinced that that card is good, but it exists. Tough turn. I'm just shocking and holding up Ephemerate here. I think they're gonna get a tap Triumph and Batter. There's the Inverter. If we draw an untap lands, we can win if we resolve the Inverter, and we should get this to our hand because we're going to target this with Ephemerate. So if they remove it or not, we get the Inverter. It's a little awkward though if we can't really Skyclave here. Draw an untap land and they don't have Teferi. Interaction. So if they have sort of Feast and Famine, it's sort of Fire Ice. Well, good beats. But untap land should win. I guess what we can actually do here, what we should do is we should Thassa's Oracle to find the untapped land, and then we can just Glasspool Mimic our Oracle. 3 tap lands. I mean, we do have a lot of fast lands in the deck. But we also get to Ephemerate. We get to Ephemerate our Oracle for 2 more looks, so it'll be pretty unlucky if we miss. There we go. This deck has been really good today. Maybe we broke it, but we're like... Seven and 1 with this inverter deck today. A lot of really cool, tricky lines. Oh, man, I'm so happy that it's working. It's been pretty good hand. Notably, can't cast Sculler on turn 2, but maybe that's okay. I think I'm playing Fountain on turn 1 no matter what. Do you think we can play the new flip lands? You mean like the pathways? I don't think so. Just like we have so many double costing cards that playing pathways. Hey, Archmage. What are the walking epiphanies for in the board? Tron slash... Might be better as something else. Someone suggested having like Force of Negation in the sideboard, and I thought that would be pretty good. So I could see cutting these for like 4 Force in the board. Which would help against Tron, not nearly as much against Titan though, but we don't really have sideboard cards for Titan as is. We lost to Mill in the PTQ, which feels so bad because we're playing Nexus, but winning the other 5 matches feels pretty good. Turtle Power, 13 months, this pandemic had at least one thing good going for it. Yeah, absolutely. It's been really good to just be able to sit and focus on the stream and relax, make some content. Glad you've been liking it. Thanks for being here, buddy. They're definitely not playing Sculler into the Lava Man. Gonna play. I love Lavamancer. I'm glad that these decks are playing one. Marcus, 10 months, another month gone by. Hell yeah. Had a really good stream today. Hopefully we... I don't know if... Dude, if we go the distance in this PTQ, it's gonna be like a 12, 13 hour stream. Should probably order some food or something. Figure it out. Corn chips, 15 months. Also, no fetches, you know, sometimes makes like the Scourge matchup better. I think I have to get rid of the Lavamancer. The card's just so unbeatable. Says oops law. I feel like that their play was fine. Oh no, they should have Lavamancered if they were gonna bolt. I thought they did. I was texting Esther back. Yeah, we're 5-1 in the super qualifier. Just playing some matches with this deck in between rounds. No fetches because of inverter. Fetches plus inverter are kind of a non-book. I guess I could Sculler this turn. Yeah, I don't hate man, the tapping the mana is so miserable. Yeah, let me just Vial in the Herder next turn and like maybe just chump block the Sculler if they have a bad hand. They do not have a bad hand. Not sure if we can win. If we can, it involves comboing. I guess if we just chump and draw Oracle, we win. Yeah. Sculler, Soulherder, chump. We do have to chump, right? And then they brick, and when we draw Thassa's Oracle next turn, no, we don't win. We have too many cards in our yard. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game too. Thank you for the kind words, Bano. Glad that you like. Jeskai deck's also one of my. All right, let's cut those Scullers, bring in the champions, the pushes. I feel ready for this matchup, which is good. Definitely a matchup to feel ready for. I can see cutting one of each combo piece. Maybe cut Watcher number 3. This looks pretty good to me. How does resolving Wildfire and Flagstones resolve? So I believe that it goes get basic land, draw a card, then resolve the Flagstones trigger. But it might be actually draw a card, then get basic land. Yeah, you get the basic land, then you draw a card, then you resolve the. I have Blightbeetle in my first draft. I haven't tested the Heliod matchup yet, but I think that we have a good matchup actually. Just like we beat Infinite Life pretty easily. KD, thank you for your tier 1. Appreciate ya. On the play, game 2. A little bit of lag here. Should probably be restarting Magic Online. Opponent's waiting our opponent to reveal Lurrus. Turn 1 Lava Man. Yeah, I think we played against you earlier. Your control deck was interesting. We're trying to figure out if there was like Through the Breach or something janky in there. Do I think the Saheeli combo will work with Flagfire? I kind of feel like in Saheeli you'd rather play Wall of Omens instead of Wildfire, so that way you can like protect Saheeli, sometimes just copy Saheeli or flicker Wall of Omens. And it's hard to play. You can't really play too many 2-mana draw card effects in Modern. You're pretty limited, I think, on the amount of those you get. I'm pushing the Lava Mancer. I'm not really scared of Hex Drinker. Just Thought Scour. Well, since I don't have anything else to Vial in for the Ephemerate, I think I'm still ticking the Vial up to. No, I should leave it on 2 because if I draw Oracle, I just win. Okay, well, I didn't draw Oracle, so I don't just win. I see Shane's TSR box had 80, but they were all bad rares. That sucks. Bad beats, kind of good beats. I didn't see that though, no. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to draw Oracle. Several packs of uncommons replaced by rares. Yeah, I wasn't quite that lucky. Man, we'd be in way better shape if we had taken the... No, I think it was fine to just try to draw Oracle. How many leagues have I played with the Inverter deck? This has been the second one. We're currently 3-0, although we're probably going to lose this match. And then we 4-1 the first one. So I think this deck is good. I've liked it in my admittedly small sample size with it. I might just like cast Inverter this game. Alright. But it's felt really good to me. So I think we're gonna stream some with it tomorrow too. And like, you know, focus more on it like we usually do on Mondays. Yeah, we're probably just hardcasting Inverter next turn. The Herders have been really good. I actually feel like Herder is way better in this deck than a lot of the other like Ephemerate shells I've been playing with. We actually still win if we draw Oracle if we tick this up. I mean, I should say we could win against like no removal spell. Be a bit more accurate. Yeah, Niambi's been pretty good. She actually won us a game earlier. Not that we necessarily would have lost if she was like a different card, but I think that I'm probably going to cut the Niambi for a Charming Prince. Tomorrow, tune into the stream tomorrow, and you'll probably see a list that's like a little different, a little up to date, maybe playing some new ideas. I'm considering Charming Prince, I'm considering Flick Wisp, I'm considering Force of Negations in the sideboard. Yeah, deck's got a few ins, a few outs. I kind of want to try to play around Fatal Push by not killing any of their creatures, although I guess they can just sack their Peatland. Bolts themselves. A bold line. A bold line with the 6/6 flyer in play. I think that this means that they have Temur Battle Rage, but we can beat that with the Vial and Skyclave. The Thraben Inspectors don't seem too hot as well. Maybe that's the case. I could see... I think that they're good because you kind of are like light on 1-drops. But yeah, you could maybe cut the Inspectors. That doesn't seem unreasonable. Yeah, I guess we probably don't want to block the Goyf with Inverter and like have it die to another Bolt. But they can only cast one TBR. So if they have TBR plus Bolt, we lose as their exact 2 cards. So I guess playing around it is actually bad. Or not blocking here is bad. We're probably not beating Bolt anyways because we need the Inverter in play. Well, maybe we can. That's not true because we have the Skyclaves. Yeah, I think this list has been really good for me so far. I've been. Oh no, this is I thought this was 5 power. We've been winning. We even won this game. Wow. I think this list is good. Like I think like the Revokers are maybe not great in the sideboard. The idea is they're good against Tron and Heliod. Maybe they should be Force of Negations. We had some Damping Spheres before. They could obviously be any other legal modern card. Yeah, like maybe you don't want to play the... But one good thing is like this list is definitely still not tuned. This was just like a list that I've been working on a little bit, and in between rounds of the PTQ, I wanted to have something to do, and this is what we chose, and it's been really good so far. And so there's still just like a lot of potential for improvement. Yeah, Mimic's been really good. We had 2 in one of our earlier drafts. We could go back up to 2, maybe over Godless Shrine number 3. Maybe over Filterland 4, maybe over Silent Clearing 2, over like Fastlane number 6, either like Coast or Shores. I haven't been super happy with the Scullers, but they make a lot of sense to me to have like Skyclave and Sculler for interaction. And Sculler is better with Vial and Ephemerate. It's like, with those 2 cards, Sculler is way better. And Sculler seems really good in your really bad matchups, which are like the big mana decks. I mean, we could play Rest in Peace, but I also feel like you're just decent against Dredge because you have this combo. I'm going to keep this hand. Alright, next round of the Super Qualifier is starting soon. We're currently in 27th place. So many X1s. 45 X1s. Jabberwocky and Yama are also X and 1. The last PTQ I won, I played against Jabberwocky in the finals, which was super nerve-wracking. So I hope not to have a repeat of that, but it'd be pretty epic if there was. The problem with mixing Sculler and Sin Collector is, Sin Collector just doesn't get Primeval Titan, which is kind of like the card you want to hit a lot against the Titan decks. The amount of filter lands would I consider the pathways over fast lands? I don't know. I feel like the pathways are really bad in this deck. Like our mana requirements are hard. We have like, double white, double blue, double black, and white black. I'm not going to shock. I think shocking here could be the correct play, but just against the Scourge deck, especially in a deck with no fetch lands, it makes sense to not shock to me. Is the Black Lotus map behind me signed? It is. Signed by Chris Rush. A gift to me by my best friend. Yama's not even streaming. That's probably for the best. We got sniped earlier. We got sniped in round 1. Ghosted, rather. Why don't I have any sponsors? Crying face. Kind of feels like weird for the chat to dislike the fact that I have no sponsors, but I am like open to sponsors that I like, but I get a lot of offers for like, you know, like mobile games and that kind of stuff that I'm not really that interested in selling you guys on, you know. But I thought the chat would like that I don't have sponsors. I'm gonna take this. I mean, I was sponsored. Yeah, I was sponsored by a D&D podcast last month, but that's ended. But, you know, shout out to Encounter Party. I did like working with them. We're playing against Lap, who usually plays Hammer Time. So if Luris is revealed, I'll expect Hammer Time. Yeah, I'm sponsored by chat. I'm sponsored by you guys. But, you know, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. They reveal Yorion. Oh, man. Lap usually plays creature decks, and we have a verdict. I think I'm keeping this on the draw. It's very close. We only have one verdict in the deck. I also want to finish this match real quick. I think I'm keeping this on the draw. Oh, sorry, I'm on the play. Oh my gosh, double queuing. Would I have noticed that if I wasn't doing... I feel like we're pretty ahead in this game, though. Which is the game that doesn't matter nearly as much. My opponent is still... They're mulliganing to 5, wow. Interesting. I'm gonna get the Lavamancer here again. I mean, this hand is probably still fine, just like... Against the creature deck, a hand that has like all creature removal, but needs like just 1 red to function. I think it's a fine keep, especially against like a slower creature deck like Taxes. Yeah, there's no chance this makes a YouTube video, or like there's no way I'd ever ask my editor to turn this into one. Castable spell, hell yeah. Alright. Please. Damn. They put Luris into their hand in this. Nice. Well, we might 5-0 this league, which is exciting. This game is going to be very interesting how long we... I guess we can't really wait on the verdict, actually, if we draw a land because of Tectonic Edge. Yeah, we have to verdict now because of Tech Edge. I'm scared to yield through end of turn unless it's safe in both games, because there's a bug where if you yield through turn in one of your double cube matches, sometimes it'll yield through turn in the other one. Okay. Alright, well, Randy the Arbiter here. We're pretty ahead in this game. Oh, they have push, but they didn't have a stop set. Bad beats. Also push our own Watcher to get Soulherder if we're desperate. Alright. Happy to have Logic not up. And I think I'm going to fetch a basic planes on my turn to play around Mind Sensor. I'm going to get a basic to play around the Tech Edge. Maybe they'll Tech Edge my Flagstones. Opponent's tanking over here. They were pretty ahead in this game. Crazy comeback. We didn't even draw our... Opponent puts Yorion into their hand, which is pretty fine. Not too worried if they Field of Ruin or Tekadri now. Alright, no monkey to worry about. Game over. Oh man, actually is gonna get me with Field of Ruin and Ghost Quarters here? Huh. It's not that deep. They bolt my Skyclave. I want them to block so I can push Luris. My opponent should probably Ghost Quarter my mountain. Guess they don't need. They tap their Tech Edge. I think I'm just getting Steven's Sacred Foundry. Ooh, getting to Wildfire, that's pretty nice. Could make well, I guess it's better to Wildfire the Ghost Quarter. Could just be better to hardcast the Typhoon, but right. Back to feeling like this is game over. Maybe we never stopped. How are we 4 minutes ahead on time over here? It's so ridiculous. Can't feel bad, right? If you're 4 minutes. How does that even happen? My opponent has no right to complain. Not that they're complaining, but they have no. Lab is nice enough to concede. Okay, so against taxes, I don't like Force of Negation. Snapcaster's a little awkward because of Archon, so I usually trim one. Wildfire is actually pretty good against Lean and Arbiter. I do usually end up bringing in the Madcap plan. The Platinum. You can cut Logic Knot. You can cut the third Teferi Time Raveler. You can cut the third Cryptic. Let's cut the third Cryptic. I think I want to cut a 4-drop. I'm going to wait on submitting those so I can just try to finish this match. They were pretty ahead in this game. Down to 3. Alright, Hex Drinker. Tails in for quarter effects. I sometimes bring it in, but I'm actually like way lower on that than I used to be. Niambi is actually a lethal threat here. Glasspool Mimic can only copy creatures you control. It's not just like the sickest clone ever. Put him to 6. Tough stuff. Only the 5-game one's gotta be frustrating. It's like Mold of 6 on the play is pretty tough in this matchup. Although they can obviously. It's better to pick up the original instead of the clone because it's less mana, right? They didn't level their Hex Drinker with their last mana. I guess they just don't want to tap it. Go to 1. Come on. Alright. Oh, it has pro instance. Alright. Please, please, please play Lean and Arbiter. I guess, I mean, we could honestly lose if they do play Arbiter, but so it's a great feeling to Wildfire the Arbiter player. Not playing around any tricks here. Well, they did have Arbiter. I guess what we want to do here is go Wildfire, their only white source, then Bolt. This is nasty. Our PTQ match might be done with before the... I probably... Or maybe I'm not supposed to... Maybe I'm supposed to keep Wall in case of Soulherder actually there. Worst Glory Seeker ever. Name Teferi, Time Raveler. I'm probably going to snap Wildfire my Flagstones here. Get up to hard casting this. Also always nice to do this against the mana denial plans. Ramp a bit. Our top decks are way better on average. We are ahead on cards, ahead on mana, even. We're still ahead on time in this match. It's unreal that we're ahead on time. We've been double queuing for like our entire... Concedes. Wow. Our PTQ match was done before the league match. Unreal. We're 6-1 in the PTQ. Good show so far. Good show. Might lose this game though, sadly. Got a lot of good draws. We're at 19, they're at 1. Got 1,000 viewers. Sick. Can I draw a creature? Alright, that's a lethal attacker. Sideboard got shot? Yeah. That we can just, like, our companion got shot. Teamer Battle Rage doesn't get... Oh, they can't Teamer Battle Rage because they can't target it. Wait, they're not attacking with Hex Drinker? Oh. Why did they stop attacking now? Auriok Champion seems pretty tough for them to, like... If they ever attack the Hex Drinker... Or if they were killed, if the Watcher ever dies, then like the champion is just like, can be really hard for them to beat. No, we won the PTQ. We're just playing this in between rounds because there's like there's a ton of dead air. They're in PTQs, and I'm trying to stream for a living. But we're currently 6-1 in the PTQ. It's pretty good. Lost to Mill, even though we have the sideboard card for Mill. That was our one loss. Wood of Foothill is not a very good card to be in my opponent's hand. I think my opponent has Team of Battle Rage. Okay. Can't block. 3 more. Yeah, there's there's 3 more. Only 3 more rounds of Swiss. It's possible we could X and 2 and still top 8. Not a guaranteed thing at all, especially because we picked up our first loss in like round 3. You know. What is this? Mistapping for Kolaghan's Command? No, Dismember. Wow. I think I'll take up both vials here. No, let's leave this one on 2, actually. Yeah. Be a bit tricky. What if it's still not that good for them? So they can't play a green blocker here, so they're kind of screwed. I don't see any reason to Vial on this champion though right now. They had a really good hand game 3. Like they were just able to mill me out before I got to 7 lands, which is not like the craziest thing, but they had a great hand game 3. Right side clearing, best land. They could have removal for this. Remember, this is a Glasspool Mimic, though, and not a wall. So if we get to flicker it, we get to copy Auriok Champion. Now we have 3 lethal attackers. We have 2 Auriok Champions. I think we're going to win this game, too. Yeah, fetch lands are so bad. So... Keep. Filter land's looking a little awkward. We got 1 land Vial. I think the filter lands are super nest deck too. Inverter would be better. I really like Inverter Herder, but you guys seem to disagree. But you guys can name decks when you build. Can I explain the synergy between the inverted part of the deck and the herder part? Yeah, so like, I mean, if you like you can like cast Oracle early to like filter out your draws, dig for inverter, and then like flicker it later. If you have a graveyard that has too many cards in it, you can just oh no. If you have a graveyard that has too many cards in it, you can flicker inverter and empty your graveyard. Both cards play well with Aether Vial. Aether Vial is like pretty good with the combo. Might just get killed by this Vial here. Or killed by the explosives here. Let's draw a 3rd filter land. They're not sacking explosives. Oh my gosh. They're just playing turn 2 Emery. It's so good for us. And then it's also like you get to be pretty tricky where you have like a very value-based Soulherder plan. And then like you just have like the Oops I Win combo, which is nice. We've won some games by beating down. I mean, Emery explosives. I mean, if we just draw Oracle, I'm feeling all right. Okay, or hopefully we can just draw a non-filter land. There we go. There we go. We are in business. I only have double white, right? Okay. So I think I'm playing second wall than Ephemerating Wall. Be a bit. How is second Emery the line here? What the hell? How is the line just cast second Emery and not like crack explosives? I guess they're digging for Bobble, which they found. So kind of weird. They could have just like sacked Pirate Spellbomb to draw a card instead. So usually you want to stack it like this, where you ephemerate before you take up your Vial to know what you want to do with your Vial, or at least have better information. Yeah, like here, I'm just going to leave the Vial on 2, and maybe I'm just going to win. if I draw untap land, which I did. They have Rebuke. Yeah, so if my opponent sacks their explosives, I'm going to Violent Oracle, and then we can look for an untapped land to just go Inverter, Flicker, Oracle, and win. This deck has been awesome. Will my deck be too... No, Ephemerate doesn't go to the graveyard, it goes to exile. Alright, so I think I'll do the same thing here. Ephemerate doesn't go to the graveyard, it goes to exile, so our library will be 2, which is enough to win. Alright, say no to that, I guess. Looking for untapped land, which we don't have that many of, I guess. But they're naming Vial with the needle anyways. Also, like, weird that they wouldn't crack this explosives, because now explosives on 1. Although, okay, Aether Spellbomb is going to be able to stop me from winning next turn. Unless they tap out, which they might do. Oh, they bounced the door. I mean, that's fine. I'm just jamming Inverter, like, basically no matter. Even if they have another Rebuke here, we can go Inverter plus Oracle. I guess we don't have enough. Well, at that point, we'll have too many cards in our yard. Is this Brewer's advantage? Yeah, kind of. I would say part of the reason why we've been doing well is our opponents don't know what they're up against. That's definitely a part of this deck. But also, this deck is not like that tuned yet. Although it's I like the mana base for the most part, and I've been liking the spell base for the most part. I might cut Niambi for a Charming Prince. We might try that tomorrow, and then I'm kind of down to like try 4 side. Oh, sacking explosives does put cards in the graveyard, but it doesn't matter anymore. Also, if we draw Ephemerate next turn, we're in really good shape. Just being able to like Oracle, Ephemerate in response to removal. We could also go Thraben Inspector, sack a clue down to 0 cards in library, then cast Oracle if we think they have no. We'll see what the situation is. We get there. 1 mana, mill 4, pretty good. Four Oracle is counter just Inverter again. Yeah. My opponent can't have any non-rebukes counterspell up though. So we should win. They only have 1 card in their hand. Oh, I guess they have drawn up 2/2. Conceding before I even show them the Oracle is a bit weird, but I guess they are thinking, why would I go for it without having Oracle? Revoker is pretty good in this matchup, right? Oh, they bounced the Oracle, right? Forgot. A lot going on. I'll play like 2 pushes. Maybe I'll cut the 4th Ephemerate because I'm bringing in like Revokers and pushes. Yeah. Now 1 more game, then we're 5-0. The believers get paid off. Get to. I don't see the command ghost. Is this deck serious? Well, if we win, we'll be 9-1 on the day with like a pretty untuned version or relatively untuned version. So I guess. I mean, maybe tell me what your definition of serious is, but it's been pretty good. No turn 1 Emery, but they do probably have turn 1 Rebuke, right? I have plenty of vials though. Oh, no, okay. Just... Ooh, Time Spiral Goblin Engineer. Probably should... Our draw's been pretty bad this game, for whatever that's worth. Never mind, our draw's been really good this game. Please no engineered explosives, but... I would love to just go, like... Vial and Oracle, Vial and Inverter. Nice counterspells opponent. They are an engineered explosives deck. No! Me just going to game 3. Yeah, Needle too. It's like one of the worst matchups to have this draw, maybe. I guess I'll take a draw step. It's like so much better if I draw Wall of Omens or the Ninja if I wait. I think I will Violin Oracle though. We could maybe just like get Soulherder Oracle filtering our draws this game. Alright, opponent. This bold move to let us just like... Not complaining. Just saying. Yeah, if we find like Ninja here, we're actually just doing fine. Maybe we're actually even doing great if we find Ninja. I can't keep that inverter, can I? Yeah. No, not Fallen Shinobi, the 2-mana one, the Hideaway Ninja. Sure. I think I'll put the inverter on top here. It's definitely close. If they just like don't sack explosive. And then we're just... I gotta pay my actors more, man. I mean, they don't have Urza in play right now. Is that what you're saying for Urza? Oh, you're saying for the Spire. Yeah, this is definitely a spot where like Soulherder plus Thassa's Oracle looks really good together. My first draft of this deck last week was playing Teferi Time Raveler instead of Soulherder, but Herder has been so much better. Right, if they let me take a draw step, they lose. I can't believe it. I gotta pay my actors more, man. I don't know. They shouldn't be able to win through like 2 flickers. I gotta pay my actors more. Yeah, the doubters have got to be fuming when like they're like, yes, explosives on 1 against 2 vials, and they just never cast it or never sacked it. Do I think Hallowed will remain the premier deck of Modern? It'll be, I think, one of the best decks as long as it remains legal, probably. Trophy, baby. Sorry to all the doubters. I recommend in the future not doubting. Not doubting would be probably a better course of action. We are running hot today. Toski! Oh, we're...